Greetings, beautiful souls. In this episode, I'm going to offer you a 30-minute yoga flow sequence intended to ground and open the hips. We'll be flowing through the sequence, utilizing our breath to movement and really sinking into the postures, really paying attention to our anatomy and fitting the form so that way we can promote a safe practice. Opening up the hips is very important to releasing old traumas, really connecting with your root chakra, grounding you down. We long for stability, but if our hips are closed, then it's difficult for the energy to flow and ground us into the earth and have us feeling connected to our physical realm. Let's begin in child's pose, tuning in to our breath. Meet me at the back of the mat. Your knees are together. Begin seated on your heels. Reach forward, extending the arms, lowering your chest, lowering your head to the mat, taking a moment here to settle into the posture. Deep inhale all the way into the belly through the nose. And exhale, empty. Two more, inhale. And exhale, sinking in. Inhale. And exhale. Slowly begin to make circles with the hips, leading toward the left wrist, to the front of the mat, and back, all the way to child's pose, to the left, forward, to the side, and back, really loosening up your hips, really opening up the movement, the flow of lymph, the flow of blood. One more time in this direction. And then exchange, turning counterclockwise this time, opening up, smooth rhythmic flow. Come back to child's pose for a moment. Walk your hands in. Push yourself up into quadruped. Let's just get the spine warmed up a little bit. Inhale, curls your pelvis upward, curls your head, lifting up into cow pose. Exhale, pushing into your hands, scooping your pelvis down, curling your back, cat. Inhale up. Deep inhale and exhale, curling in. Inhale and exhale. Curl your toes under. Lift your knees off the mat for a moment and gently press yourself up into your first downward dog. Finding a good placement for the hands. Allowing your chest to sink toward the mat. Shoulders are wrapping around your chest, wrapping around your rib cage. 5 deep inhales here. Sinking in. Slowly begin to bend your knees and straighten them out, bringing movement into the knees, moving the blood, moving the lymph. Core is still engaged, pressing into those palms. Come back to downward dog. Shift your weight to your left foot, lift your right heel up into the air, keeping your toes pointed toward the ground. Hold here. Bend your knee And begin to make outward circles with that knee toward the back of the room, opening up the hip. Core is engaged, chest is facing your mat, neck is relaxed, and reverse directions. Open up the hip, keep your knee bent, extend your leg, bend your knee, bring it toward your chest to hover, and then place your foot in between your hands. Drop your back knee, uncurl your toes, and come into your first low lunge. Arms lift up, chest lifts, core is engaged. Pressing into the top of your back foot, pressing into the front of your right heel. Your hips are facing forward. Deep inhales, deep exhales. Allowing yourself to sink in the posture, but remaining active. Take your hands, grasp opposite elbow. Inhale and exhale. Slight back bend, keeping your core engaged, lifting your chest up, rising your chest toward the ceiling to promote back safety. Come back to center. Extend your arms up. Plant your heels around that front foot, and then rock back onto your heel, straightening out that right leg, rocking back, extending the leg, forward into bend, really opening up that back hip, opening up the hamstring, the front leg. When you're ready, plant your foot, curl your back toes, lift that back leg up, lifting your kneecap, and slowly begin to rise to a crescent lunge. Lifting your chest up, back leg is strong, pressing into all four corners of your front foot. Bring your hands down into prayer. Hold for a moment, sinking in, finding a drishti. Deep inhales. Never forget to breathe. Lean your trunk forward, hook your left elbow on your outer right knee, and begin to twist to your right side. Bringing your chest toward your thumbs, looking over that right shoulder. Legs are strong and pulling together. Inhale, lifts your arms up. Exhale, lower them down. Plant your back knee. Press your hands into the mat. Lower down, chest, chin. Straighten out your legs. Press up into a cobra. Curl your back toes under. Exhale, downward dog. Taking a moment here. Let the energy settle. 3 deep inhales. On an inhale, lift that left heel up, keeping the toes facing toward the ground. Core is engaged. Raising the leg with the hamstring and the hip, the back of the hip. Bend that knee, open up the hip, keeping your hips facing toward the mat. And then begin to circle outwards with your knee. And reverse directions. Straighten out your leg. Bend your knee. Bring it toward your chest. Hold for a moment. Place your foot between your hands. Place that back knee down. Uncurl the back toes. Lifting up into your second low lunge on the opposite side. Chest is lifting. Core is engaged, pressing with the top of that right foot, pressing with that left heel, lifting your trunk toward the ceiling. Arms are strong. Clasp opposite elbows, lifting your chest. Inhale extends you back, core is engaged, protecting the low back. And exhale. Plant your hands on the ground. Roll back onto that left heel. And forward. Opening up the hips. Breathing with the movement. Always continuous. Plant your hands around that left foot, curl your back toes, lift that back knee, and press into your feet to lift you up into a crescent lunge on the opposite side. Holding here, finding your breath. Your pelvis is facing forward with your trunk. Arms are strong. Hands come to prayer. Gently lean forward. Hook that right elbow on the outer left thigh. Twisting, looking over that left shoulder. Back leg is strong. Left heel is pushing toward that right leg. Pressing into the top of that right foot. Come back to center. Hold for a moment. Plant your hands down. Drop that back knee. Take that left knee behind. Lower down to your chest and shin. Elbows bent next to your sides. Lifting up into cobra. Curl back toes. Downward facing dog. We're going to take some sun salutations here. So let's take a few deep breaths and really sink into the downward dog, get ourselves relaxed for a moment. So deep inhales and exhales. Two more, just like that. Inhale and exhale. Stare between your thumbs. And take a few steps in between your hands. Knees are bent, clasping opposite elbows. Slowly roll your chunk up, vertebrae on top of vertebrae. Chin raises last, head raises last. Arms lift up overhead, gazing in between your hands. Hands come together into prayer in front of your chest. Inhale, eyes can be closed here, finding that grounding, finding that connection. Inhale, arms raise above head, and swan dive down, leading with the chest. Slight bend of the knees if you need to. Forward folding. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant your hands down. Step your left foot back, followed by your right, coming into plank. Lowering down to your first chaturanga, or chest, knees, chin, to cobra or upward facing dog. Lifting your chest, squeezing your core. And exhale, downward facing dog. Deep inhale. And exhale. Inhale, stare between your thumbs. Walk or step between your hands. Forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, roll your trunk up, lifting your arms above head, squeezing your core, staring between your thumbs. Exhale, arms come down into prayer, hands in front of the chest. Inhale, eyes are closed. Exhale. Inhale, arms come up, slight back bend, staring between your hands. Arms come to the side, forward diving, leading with your chest, planting your hands down, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant your hands, step your left and then your right back, lower down chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, coming back into downward dog. We're going to do one more of those. Inhale and exhale. On the next inhale, stare between your thumbs. Step in between your hands. Lower down. Inhale, halfway lift, pressing into your shins, lifting your chest, spine is long. Exhale, lower down. Inhale, lifting up, vertebrae on top of vertebrae, arms lift up overhead, staring between your thumbs, chest is lifted high. Exhale, hands come in front of your chest into prayer. Eyes are closed, inhale, and exhale. Inhale, arms lift up, slight back bend. Exhale, swan dive down, leading with your chest. Slight bend in the knees if you need it. Forward folding, exhale. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold, plant your hands. Walk the left and then the right back, coming into chaturanga. Elbows are pointed straight, lowering down, lifting up to cobra or upward facing dog. Exhale, push back, downward facing dog. Deep inhale and exhale. On an inhale, right leg rises. Exhale, bend the knee, bring it toward the chest. Plant the foot in between the hands. Back foot turns 45 degrees, coming into your first warrior one on the right side. Lifting your chest. Pressing into the knife edge of your left foot. Reaching into all four corners of your right. Holding here, feeling the strength. Slowly begin to lower your trunk forward. Reach your arms back. And then lift your arms up, lifting your chest. Exhale, reach back. Inhale, lifting up. Exhale. Inhale, lift. Left hand comes on the outer left thigh, reaching back with your right arm, coming into revolved warrior. Core is squeezing, chest is lifted, pressing into both feet. Lift that left arm up. Plant your hands around that right foot. Turn your left toes forward, press into your right hand, coming into plank. Lower down chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale and exhale. Inhale, lifts the left leg up. Exhale, bend the knee, bring it to the chest. Plant your foot between your hands, turn that back foot 45 degrees. Press into the left heel, coming up into warrior one, opposite side. Lifting your chest. Squeezing your core. Allowing your legs to be strong. Inhale and exhale, reach your arms back, leading with your chest. Pressing into that back foot. Inhale, lifting up. Exhale, Extending your arms. Inhale, lift. Exhale. Inhale, lift. Plant that right hand, outer right thigh. Lift your chest up, reaching with that left hand, lifting with your chest. Keeping your legs strong. Inhale, return to center. Plant your hands around that left foot. Circle your back toes forward. Press into your hands, coming into chaturanga. Lowering down, upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. Deep inhale, deep exhale. Inhale, right leg rises. Bend that knee. Exhale, plant your foot between your hands. Turn that back foot 90 degrees, this time coming up to warrior two. Arms are extended long. Right leg is spiraling outward, pressing into the outer knife edge of that left foot, gazing over that right hand. Take your right elbow, plant it on that right inner thigh. Lift your left arm up overhead, coming into side angle. Really reaching, pulling the fascia of the left side body, gazing at that left hand. Inhale, come back up. Exhale, revolve back. Come back to warrior two. Straighten that front leg. Reach forward with that right hand. Reach, 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 and then come over all the way down into triangle pose. Keeping your chest lifted, using your right inner shin for support. Lifting your left arm up high. Inhale brings you up. Turn both toes so that they're facing 45 degrees outward. Bend your knees. Plant your hands on top of your knees. And then take your right hand, press it into that right inner thigh, twisting, turning, looking over your left shoulder. Inhale returns you to center. Exhale, opposite side, twisting, opening up that hip. Inhale back to center. Cross your arms in front of you. Inhale reaches up. Legs straighten out, arms are long. Exhale, graceful squat. Inhale, arms come up. Exhale, lower them down, bend the knees. Inhale up. And exhale. Come back to center. Point both toes forward, facing the front of the room. Clasp your hands behind your back. Lift with your chest. Keep your core engaged. Slight back bend here. Lifting, gazing at the ceiling. Chin is slightly tucked. And exhale, leading with your chest, coming all the way down. Chest is reaching toward the ground. Fists are coming forward toward the ground. Neck is relaxed. Weight is leaning toward the ball of your foot. Deep inhales, deep exhales, sinking in. Lift halfway up. Plant Plant your hands down in front. Slowly walk to your right foot, clasping around that right ankle, pulling your trunk toward that ankle. Slowly begin to walk to the opposite side, grasping that left ankle, pulling toward, sinking in. If you're only grabbing the shin, that's perfectly fine. Just feeling that stretch in the hamstrings. Come back to center. Begin to walk your hands forward. Wide-legged forward fold. Deep inhale, deep exhales. Walk back to center. Gently lift yourself up into a star position. Toes are pointed outward. Take that left toe, take those left toes, point them toward the left side of the room, opening up that hip. Turn that right foot toward warrior two. Open your arms, extend. Find your strength here, looking over that left hand, past the fingertips, finding your drishti, finding your strength. Core is engaged. Bend your left elbow, plant it on that left inner thigh. Reach that right arm up and overhead. Arm is strong, plugged in, gazing at that right hand. Come back, inhale, warrior two. Exhale, revolve back. Inhale, warrior two. Straighten out that front leg. Lead with that left arm, reaching, 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 and then begin to lower down into triangle. Keeping your chest parallel to the wall in front of you. Arms are reaching in opposite directions. Gaze can be at that right hand. Legs are strong. Inhale, come up, bend that knee, warrior two. Slowly begin to windmill that right arm facing that left hand, coming into crescent lunge on the left side. Plant your hands down, facing the opposite side of the room now. Press into the left hand, pushing that left foot back toward plank. Lower down, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, child's pose. Take a moment to relax here. Rest your head down, take a few deep breaths. When you're ready, press into your hands, lift your hips off of your heels, curl your toes under, lift your hips up in the air to downward facing dog. Right leg lifts on the inhale, bend that knee, this time plant the foot on the outside of the right hand. Coming into lizard, turn that right foot outward to 45 degrees. You can plant that back leg down, chest is lifted, lizard pose. If you feel comfortable, lower onto your elbows. Allowing the breath to sink you deeper. When you're ready, press into your hands. Turn, shift your trunk toward that right leg. Take your right hand and press inner right thigh away from you, opening up the hip outward. Return the leg. Bend that back knee if you have access. Grab that foot. If that doesn't work, you can always just reach with that arm, really working toward opening up and spiraling that chest toward that right thigh. But if it's in your practice, grab that back foot. Gazing over that right shoulder. Gently lower that back foot down. Have your right hand meet the left. Bring that right foot back to center. Curl the back toes under, coming into low lunge. Press into your hands. Return that right foot back into chaturanga. Lower down. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, left leg lifts. Bend the knee. Bring the foot outside of left hand. Turn those toes 45 degrees outward. Lower down that right knee. Coming into lizard on the opposite side. Sinking in. Chest is lifted. If you have access, lower down your forearms. Let the stretch happen naturally. Let your breath carry you there. Press into your hands. Distribute your weight to your right side. Rotate a little bit toward your left thigh. Press inner left thigh away from you, twisting to your left. Keep that left shoulder relaxed as much as possible. Return back to center. Bend that back leg. Grasp the right foot if you have access, or you can just reach with your hand, playing with the knee bend. Gently let go of that back foot. Walk your left foot back to center. Curl your back toes under into low lunge. Press into both hands, bringing that left foot to meet the right. Lower down chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Deep inhale and exhale. Walk your feet toward your hands. Take your feet greater than hips width distance and turn your toes outwards, keeping a forward fold here, slight bend of the knees if you need it. And then gently lower down into Malasana. Hands are in prayer. Using your elbows to open up your hips. Closing your eyes, staring at your third eye. Becoming very present in the moment. When you're ready, lower down to your bum. Right leg extends out to the side. Left foot comes into the right inner thigh. Inhale, arms come up. Turn, Face that right foot and exhale, lower down. Leading with your chest. Allow the inhales and exhales to carry you deeper into the stretch, always leading with your chest, reaching toward the toes. If you're here today, that's fine. Just work with what you've got. Take that straight leg, bend it, and turn it so that way your right shin is perpendicular to your left shin. Take your left hand behind you. Right arm lifts up. Press into your left hand, lifting your hips up. Reaching behind. Opening up the hips from the front. And exhale, lower down. Bring both knees together. This time extend left leg. Bring right heel into the inner thigh. Inhale, lifting your arms up. Exhale, twist and lower down toward that left foot, leading with your chest. Take that left knee, bend, place that left shin perpendicular to your right. Take your right hand behind this time. Press into that right hand, lift your hips up, lift your left arm, rising, gazing at that left hand, lifting your hips. And exhale, lower down. Extend both legs out to the side, opening up. Toes are pointing toward the ceiling, knees are pointing toward the ceiling. Chest is lifted. And then inhale, exhale, walk your hands forward, leading with your chest. Sinking into the pose, nice and easy. Allow yourself to rest here. If you need a bolster or a pillow to keep you propped up, that is perfectly fine. Working with your body, finding that barrier and dancing with it, that's the key to gaining flexibility, my friends. Slowly begin to lift yourself up. Take your left foot, have it come to meet the right. In a long seated position. Lift your arms up. Begin to lower down forward in front of your legs, leading with your chest. Belly comes down to your thighs first. Sinking in, finding your center, finding that groundingness. Slowly begin to lower yourself down, gently, one vertebrae at a time. Bend your knees. Cross right ankle over left, coming into that 4 shape. Bring your left knee toward your chest. You can grasp behind the knee or in front of the knee. Pulling that knee, opening up that right hip. Plant that left foot down, cross that right leg completely over the left. Arms come out long, and allow both knees to rock toward the left side, keeping that right shoulder planted on the mat. Gazing to that right hand, if you wish. Knees come back to center. Plant that right foot down. Switch to opposite leg, crossing that left ankle over the right knee. And then squeeze that knee, that right knee into the chest. Plant that right foot down, completely cross that left leg over that right leg. Extend your arms long and gently rock to the right with the knees. Looking over that left hand. Bring both knees back to center. Lift your legs, lift your shins so that they're parallel to the ceiling. Take both hands, grasp outside of your feet, and pull your knees toward the mat. Keep your low back stabilized against the mat, coming into happy baby. Enjoy this one. Let yourself be vulnerable. Release the grip, plant your feet flat. Press your hands on the mat beside you. Press into your heels, lifting your hips off the mat into a bridge. Keep your chest lifting, keep your chin away from your chest. Lower your hips down. And if wheel is in your practice, we can do that. Or you can do another bridge. For wheel, take your hands next to your ears, turning your fingertips toward your shoulders. And then gently press into your heels and your hand lifting you up into a wheel pose. Core is engaged here to protect the low back. Really driving in with your heels. And exhale. Lower down slowly. Take one last squeeze. Counteract that pose. Squeeze your knees toward your chest. And then extend your legs. Coming into Savasana. Allow your body to settle, allow yourself to rest, fully surrendering to this pose, feeling the energy that you cultivated within, sinking into your breath. Allow yourselves to be here for 5 to 10 minutes. joining me for this practice. Namaste.